Laitram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
That's one damn depressing show open, huh? Is that supposed to cheer like housewives up as they're cleaning up?
This is MacDonald Kaare.
Listen to this.
And these are the days of our lives.
It's depressing. Yes, that's not depressing. It is New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, I often talk about it, use it as an example. Buddies of mine are in the Florida panhandle prospering, financially prospering. They've even suggested you should come on down like Bob Barker. And then I just rattle off a half dozen things that I don't know if they're the greatest things in the world. People have all kind of things that like, I like camping. I've got to be on a boat. I love being on the beach, whatever it might be there. You know, the mountains are for me. I like sitting inside and watching television, whatever. I'm not telling you it's right, wrong, up, down, left, right. Just for me, a half dozen things that I don't know if they're 1 through 6 in my top 10 probably, but I'm not thinking about it real deeply like family, God, country. Just sort of, you know, I like people. I like people. I like culture. You know, I like some culture with those people. I like history and architecture. That's pretty cool when stuff that's around you is, you know, old and historic. Because if you're living anywhere that has any kind of a pulse, there'll be new stuff too. But the new places can't duplicate the old and the historic, the architecture and that and the like. I like music. Like most people like music. Not sitting here trying, I like music and I like music more than you like music. I like music like you probably like music. Most people like music. And I really like food, kind of that New Orleans mentality. I think I've seen my friends go elsewhere. They learn to eat to live. I still live to eat. I look forward to what's for lunch? What am I getting for dinner? What am I getting that's good? It's like a reward time. It's lunch and dinner kind of mentality. Anyway, you know, that's sort of a lot in New Orleans. We have that in spades. Panhandle of Florida, they've got none of those things at all. No people, no culture, no food or music, no history or architecture. I'm not saying, oh, wow, that means don't go there. I love the Panhandle of Florida. I love going to the beach. I visit there. Wish I owned a house down in Pensacola, Destin area, past Destin, somewhere not too crowded. You want to get specific? By Jerry Jones, 4 Mile Village, across the highway from that Publix that you like, and the Fleming Steakhouse and the P.F. Chang's down by Sandestin. You want to get specific? 4 Mile Village, where Jerry Jones lives. That's where I wish I had a house. I wish I had a bag of money and some first-class airline tickets. Trip to Europe. I'd like. You got to find that Bugs Bunny. I think it's Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck, Joe. I'd like. What I like, he just goes off. Anyway, New Orleans is pretty darn cool. And mind-boggling visiting Houston recently and just downtown Houston. It's probably about 3 or 4 New Orleans downtowns. It's a couple of Poydras streets. And then it's like a Poydras and Canal Street, both full of buildings. And then they're like 8 blocks apart. And then all the streets that connect them for like, the mile long or so that they are full of buildings too. I mean, just a lot of high-rise skyscrapers in Houston's downtown. Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of them. And then you go like 8 miles, 10 miles out, like towards the perimeter of I-610 in like the Galleria area. And all up and down the I-610, there are just dozens of high-rise buildings. It's like, who's in these buildings? Just where's this, money coming from? On and on and on. And then just lots of traffic, not a lot of history and culture, architecture, not, like modern buildings. Now, Houston's an international city, and they've got a lot more good restaurants now and all that. But boy, 45 minutes to go 5 blocks to get to it. It's just, it's rough. It's Planet Houston. I call it Planet Houston. It's a whole other world. I think you got to like think ahead, plan ahead, get all your supplies. And then when you get to your destination, park car and hunker down for a few days. Try to move around on foot if possible. Anyway, New Orleans is pretty fantastic. It is a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. I love wide open Wednesday. I've got a lot of topics. As usual, I'm prepared to roll till 6 p.m. Are you? On Wide Open Wednesday, you're the show producer. Maybe there's a topic we're not talking about enough, something we're not talking about at all, and you're like, dude, that's important. Love to hear from you. Rouse's Markets phone lines is how you do it. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480. That's how you can dial us up. Got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia questions coming up. It's holiday season, guys. 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Get her a day of relaxation. It's what she wants at one of those Woodhouse locations. Check them out online, woodhousespas.com. Yeah, it's holiday season. That's a good way to take care of her. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates, some gift cards to give away, some trivia questions coming your way. So remember that phone number. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Metairie Tower on Metairie Road, 4+ acre site. I just, it's hard to make jokes. I mean, it's going to be like, the site of Vince Marinello murdering his former wife. But it's like, that's sort of the parking lot of there, sadly. And then he got on a bike. Throw bike in canal. Drop gun at mama's. Make list and leave it in trailer as authorities search trailer and find list. Poor Vince. Poor Vince's wife. Poor Vince's former wife, 99%. Poor Vince, 1%. Anyway, Metairie Tower on Metairie Road. What? I mean, God, that's not part of the sales brochure, is it, Joe? Nearly 4+ acres. Zone Z11.
Are you a true crime fan?
Site of the Vince Marinello shooting. Metairie Tower on Metairie Road, that, I don't know, 60s era building. It's like a what do you describe that? It's like three little wings. It's like a star that's like just three long hallways, like, I don't know, 3-4 stories tall on each one. It has been put back out on the market. This is such a weird deal. A lot of people own their unit in the building. Ida comes and just knocks the crap out of the building. The building's needs major repairs. It's not really possible to stay in the unit while we work around you. So they sort of kick everybody out. We're going to redo it, and then you get to move back in. And in the meantime, you're sort of screwed. Now that building's back on the market. I mean, to me, that is just an obvious teardown. That's a 4-acre site in the heart of Old Metairie on Metairie Road. The potential for that is unlimited. Look at Metairie Road in between LeBar and Causeway today. What do you have, a few $100 million invested? Literally. I wonder how much money's invested in between LeBar and Causeway on Metairie Road, post-Katrina, last decade or so. Okay, the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon, appropriately during holiday season, brought to you by Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. Guys, go get her some real natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. They have an entire room dedicated to real natural diamonds. Everything in that room under $1,000. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NolaAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining us. The Times-Picayune had an interesting piece about the Harvey or Bell Chase Tunnel. One of them. I just kind of blew through it and looked at some photos. I mean, New Orleans post-World War II, just unbelievable growth. Unbelievable growth in the 50s and 60s. I mean, the 50s, we laugh at it today because it's from the 50s. The City Hall complex, the court building, all that, what do you call that? Art Deco type, whatever that is. That was all built, like here's our new City Hall complex. We're not in Gallier Hall anymore. Think about that. New Orleans was in Gallier Hall on St. Charles Avenue. That was the City Hall. Boy, there must have been so many annex things all over the place. They must have consolidated like 6, 8, 10 different, quote, City Hall locations into the new building on Perdido. But that was built like in the 50s as New Orleans saw some significant growth. The Rivergate Convention Center. But what was really significant was the Ronnie Lamarck Araby Park proclamation. We're bridging the gap. New Orleans was bridging the gap in the mid to late 50s. The late 50s, it was just like ribbon cutting after ribbon cutting after ribbon cutting of major league, big time, significant projects. And the Harvey Tunnel and the Belt Chase Tunnel, those are like a couple of small ones when I'm about to tell you the other ones. Now, pretty damn impressive. 1956 was pretty much out of control. 56, 57, and 1958. It would have been pretty cool to be in New Orleans. You'd be like, my God, this is what a city that's really has growth and, opportunity looks like. No, they opened the Harvey Tunnel on the West Bank. Connecting Harvey. They opened the Bell Chase Tunnel. They opened the Causeway Bridge, the 24-mile causeway, the original causeway. And then about 15 months later, they opened the Crescent City Connection. So in 1955, 1956, if you wanted to go from Mandeville to Harvey or Bell Chase, let's say Bell Chase, Mandeville to Bell Chase in 1955, you went around the lake, either came in Highway 51, basically I-55 today, Highway 11, basically I-10 today, came in from the east via Chef Highway, or came in via Airline Highway. And then you're taking the UEP Long Bridge, and then you're taking US 90 all the way to Bell Chase. And then I guess taking a ferry to get to Bell Chase. 2-3 years later, you're on a brand new causeway, Mandeville to Metairie, straight shot, due south. Then you beeline over to the Pontchartrain Expressway in New Orleans. That wasn't all connected. They did, causeway to the Crescent City Connection was not all I-10 back then. You cross over the Crescent City Connection and then take the Harvey Tunnel, the Bell Chase Tunnel, whatever. Just amazing. Harvey Tunnel, Bell Chase Tunnel, Crescent City Connection, Causeway, 56, 57, 1958. Just major league projects, bridging the gap, growing New Orleans. Hey, a few years later, a pretty revolutionary building about a decade later, because the growth continues, a Chicago-like building. This building would have a huge parking garage. It would have office space. It would have retail and restaurants. It would have apartments. You could stay, live, work, play all in one spot. It was the Plaza Tower, the 1001 Howard building. The city of New Orleans they're putting out bids to receive bids to tear down the Plaza Tower. Joe Cardosi, our producer, says he'll do it for $5. $5. Oh, wow. I can tell you this much. The Plaza Tower is a brick, you-know-what house built like in the 60s. It's not like an easy tear down. It's not an impossible tear down. I guess it'll be some implosion. But it's millions of dollars to tear that and haul it away. And it's under a historic designation. I think this is a ready, fire, aim type of thing with the mayor. I know that's hard to believe. Mayor LaToya Cantrell, ready, fire, aim. Come on, Corey. I think this could be a LaToya Cantrell, ready, fire, aim, where the building can't be touched. It's got a historic designation. We'll see. I'm sure there are going to be some demolition companies saying for X amount of dollars, we'll tear down the Plaza Tower and haul it away. And they're putting, pencil to paper right now, and we charge this much and we get it done right. We don't have these problems or those problems. We'll make this profit. If we have these problems and those problems, we'll still make this profit. What are the other guys kind of coming in at? Then going from there. I think it's maybe just the city trying to push Joe Yeager. I don't think there's any pushing Joe Yeager. Joe Yeager had 20-something hotels rolling in New Orleans pre-pandemic. If you had French Quarter hotels, the Jung, you had all these hotels that were working pretty well in pre-pandemic New Orleans, I don't think you'd have too many concerns or worries. You need a pandemic to crush your momentum. Oh, wow. That's exactly what happened. A 2-year pandemic crushed Joe Yeager's empire of 20-plus hotels. Had to sell off some. Went from full hotels, making money, paying off all the debt that he owes, making a big profit, lots of cash flow, doing well, lots of assets, a wealthy person. If someone like Forbes was, let's add up his wealth, Joe Yeager was a wealthy man, not a rich man, a wealthy man. And then this, coronavirus crisis comes and no one's going to his hotels. He's laying off employees. The hotels aren't bringing in any money. The folks he owes money to still want their money. They're extending loans. They're stretching it out. Finally, he has to sell off properties to pay off. Just on and on and on. So I think if Joe Yeager had 21 hotels and was rolling like before, it would still be a who's financing it? What's the project? Is it a moneymaker? It's a strange building. And from what I remember, and I've been all over that building and have talked to people that know a lot about the building, including developers and the like. Been all over that building, including the roof, the old apartments, all over it. From what I understand, just the design of the building, the elevators being in the dead center of the building. Yeah, I don't know what the common area is, the percentage in an average building in 2023. And that would be like hallways, stairways, elevators, everything that you can't rent out. I don't know what the percentage is. I'm just going to make up a number. Let's say it's 12 to 15% of the building. I'm just making up a number. At the Plaza Tower, it's like 20% of the building. It's a higher percentage by like 4 to 7% or something. And that's taking away that much more of your profit, and it's just not the best design. Someone needs to put the elevators on the outside of the building. That costs more money, things of this nature. Just not a great, easy redo that's profitable. Probably need city, state, and feds to step up even more than ever and just, grants like free money and lots of tax credits and the like to get that building back into commerce. No, and then the catch-22, it's, I think, got a historic designation. No matter what the mayor's trying to do, tear it down. I don't think that's possible. Don't think that's possible. Hey, you Metairie folks, what do you do with Metairie Tower on Metairie Road? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. I say tear that thing down, 4 acres, redevelop it. Apartments, condos, folks that own, folks that rent, different levels, retail, green space, fountain. You could do it really nice and right. And you could lower the amount of people that are in that 4-acre spot. You could lower the number of cars and traffic in that 4-acre spot. It's a lot of little units, a lot of people living in that building when it was rolling. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday, 766-9480. Would you go to Smalls Sliders? They're building one on Clearview and Vets in the Clearview Shopping Center parking lot by the Tajay as we speak.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, With 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville, a day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
You heard Ken Friend. You have a friend in the jewelry business. Guys, it's holiday season. Go get her what she wants. Don't settle, guys. This is for her. It almost makes me nauseated a little bit. No, dude, I went and I got her these fake diamonds, these man-made. They're not fake. They're man-made. They're lab-created. They just did what nature did in 3 weeks, not 1 billion years. Same thing. No, it's not. Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Real Natural Diamonds on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, the mayor wants to tear down the Plaza Tower. I don't know if that's possible with the historic designation. Smalls Sliders, another Drew Brees restaurant. If it's an entity in the United States, Drew Brees might be endorsing it. I was in Lowe's the other day. Hey, if you need a 2x4, I'm your guy. I'm Drew Brees. Aisle 9, 2x4. So I'm like, wow, Drew Brees is the Lowe's spokesman inside the store over the PA system. Unbelievable. It's great. Good for him. Smalls Sliders. Kind of a neat idea. I mean, it should be called Smart Sliders. It's in like old shipping containers. They stack a couple of shipping containers, and that's where the kitchen will be and all that stuff. I mean, I have Jeff Dorset on Thursdays with the Humane Society of Louisiana. They're using shipping containers that are climate controlled to be like a shelter for animals, cats and dogs, even a little office space for rural parishes that don't have, some kind of shelter or SPCA type of thing, a pound. It's like $30,000 all in. So the shipping containers can cut costs dramatically. Anyway, when you go to Smalls Sliders, Metairie Tower on Metairie Road, it's been beat up since Hurricane Ida, sits on a 4-acre site. Redo it or tear that down? What would you do? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480, 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. So is Damian Michaels with Relevant Studios here in New Orleans. What's up, Damian? How you doing, man?
Hey, Corey, how are you? Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays to you, too. Yeah, speaking of holidays, we love to eat down here in New Orleans. We love to drink down here in New Orleans. Riley Foods, a big part of New Orleans. I'm always talking about Blue Plate mayonnaise with that, great flavor. Now with a different label, folks have to look out for it. That huge banner right outside the arena, right there by the Superdome. You can see from the Pontchartrain Expressway, Po' Boy Fest. Y'all had the world's largest jar of mayonnaise out there where all the kids are hugging it and all of that. Riley Foods, there's a lot of products. Louisiana iced tea. What's this Swans Down cake flour all about? And why is Riley Foods so proud of this product? What's special about it?
It's actually an interesting product. I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's the second old CPG brand still in production, and that's just a fancy term for it's still one of the oldest products still made. It's a hyper filtered flour, which really makes it light and airy, and it's the perfect for cakes. It's in fact, when it comes to the category, it is the category. And if you're looking to make a holiday treat, cakes, cookies, etc., I mean, this is the best of the best when it comes to those kinds of things. And of course, baking really kicks up in high gear in the last part of the year, or in the last month of the year, because it's a way for people to show signs of affection and appreciation by bringing in baked goods. And it's just a great time of the year for those kinds of things. And as you get together with family, you want, treats after the meal, in between the meals, before the meals. And so Swan's Down cake flour really kind of comes in handy across the spectrum of baked goods. It's really, it's a professional's choice, in bakeries and whatnot. So it's a phenomenal brand that really kind of flies under the radar.
Yep. Yeah, it does. It's a New Orleans brand. It's Swan's Down cake flour. It is a superior product, Damien, superior flour, but also it's a little different. Now I come down to Louisiana Cafe and you get like pancakes or something, and you're using the Swan's Down cake flour, or maybe like the biscuit, and you're using Swan's Down cake flour. How does that make the pancake or the biscuit different than a standard flour?
Well, because it's sifted so often, becomes ultra fine. When you go to bake with this product, the gluten in it really does help create a lighter area of cake or pancake or biscuit or whatever.
Yep. It's puffier.
And when you got to make cookies, you got to use some regular AP flour, all-purpose flour, with it to kind of add some substance to it. Otherwise, your cookies will float right off the plate. So they're not those dense, good cookies you're used to. So you kind of have to help it along. But if you're making a cake or pancakes, it's the ideal companion to your baking needs.
Hey, I mentioned Louisiana tea. We think of iced tea, which, by the way, it was 70 something the other day. But, hot days, iced tea, cold days, hot tea, right? Tea's year round, especially over the holidays.
Yeah, what many people don't really realize is that even though Louisiana was blended specifically for iced tea, you can heat it up and drink it hot. But a surprisingly unknown fact is that we drink iced tea year round. And so it doesn't matter how hot or cold it is outside, iced tea is a staple in most Southern households, and New Orleans, Louisiana especially. It's just the drink of choice. People make a couple of gallons of it, stick in the fridge, and they'll drink it whenever. Hot makes more sense, but iced tea in the winter, not so much. But there you go.
What makes Louisiana special?
Well, what's really interesting is that years ago, the founder, William B. Riley, used to take his family off to London and to escape the yellow fever that would come around once a year. And he noticed in the fine dining establishments in London, high tea was a very formal process. But if you went in the pubs, they were drinking this stuff out of, steins, and it was room temperature, and they added milk and sugar to it. And he found that tea actually tasted much better than the tea that they were drinking at high tea. So he brings this back, and unbeknownst, it's really phenomenal, black organic tea. And the conditions have to be right in order to get the best teas. And lo and behold, they captured lightning in a bottle some 90 years ago. And every year, just through diligence and the right cupper, the right taster to make sure, and the right buying commodities across the world, they buy those same blends and blend them together to make sure that you get this really amazing tea that is undeniable and unmistakable in its taste profile. It's not too overt. It's not too acidic. It's kind of light. It's very refreshing. Again, regardless of the weather outside, it's just one of those things that brings joy and delight. And you can either do it slightly sweet with lemon, with fruit, or sweet tea in general. So there's a number of ways you can really service this. And one of the things they noticed back in the 80s was because of their process, the tea didn't get cloudy. And so if you remember the old commercials,
yep,
they used to flick the side of the pitcher and say, Louisiana tea clear as a bell. And that's still true today. So it's really just an interesting product. It's one of those things you don't really think a lot about until you know the backstory and the history of it and how amazing it is that they've continued years and years and years of capturing light in a bottle. That, to me, that's the most miraculous part of it, in addition to the refreshment side of it.
Hey, Damien, when I'm stuck behind someone doing 35 on I-10 eastbound going up the high rise, and I glance over to the left and I see that big Louisiana sign, what are you guys doing out there on, what is that, France Road?
Yeah, Chef Mentour.
Yep.
We're roasting coffee, making tea. We're going to put some videos out in 2024. But if you ever saw this tea bag machine, this thing is a work of art still in production. I think it was put in 65. And so it's an amazing industrial work of art that just goes to town and makes these wonderful bags of Louisiana tea. And then we have this whole thing where we put a tea tag on it. And the founder used to believe, and we still do it, but the founder believed that it was his little chance of whispering words of wisdom into his customers' ears. And so you've got some great little sayings on these tea tags. And so, but to see this thing produce tea bags at scale, at speed, and knowing that this thing was, I think, implemented in 65.
Yeah, I got to come out and see that.
Yeah, you just can't, you can't believe this thing is still in operation.
No,
I think at one point they did have to service it.
No, I
They had
bet.
to bring a German engineer out of retirement to come over and work on this thing.
Wow.
So
wow.
Pretty amazing.
It is amazing. Hey, Damien, I want to talk more about that next week, and I want to tour. I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Thank you.
Great. Have a great day.
You too. Corey Johnson with you, coming right back.
Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Weeks away from a new year, New Year's resolution. Boy, coronavirus crisis got a lot of folks rethinking their lives. I was doing XYZ for 30 years. I don't do that anymore. Just like dramatic changes. How about a dramatic change for the better? How about a new job, a career at Latrim? Latrim is hiring. This global manufacturing giant, born, bred, based right here in New Orleans. East Bankers, West Bankers, they got you covered at their Elmwood facility. North Shore folks, Latrim has a North Shore I-12 facility. They're hiring dozens and dozens and dozens of job openings, not like 2 or 3 job openings. A long list, a job for you. New Year's resolution, new job, new career, a culture of innovation. Go to their website for a full listing of positions available right now. Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M. Latrim.com. Not you, Joe. Focus on the program. Get off of Latrim.com. No, you're not taking that job. Jeez, Pete's not for you. Anybody out there but Joe who's got a job running the controls of my program. Oh, wow. What is it, a third, Joe, of interstate lights are out? Is that what they're saying? That's a very, I guess that's about right. I guess that's fair. Because there's some stretches where it's all lit up. But then there's some that are like, I think in New Orleans East, like, at least I went out one night, Joe, you're like, dude, what was wrong with you? I mean, I'll tell the story why in maybe a few months. But I literally went I-10 to I-510 to like the Chef or Almonaster exit and pretty much past Bullard, a little bit past Bullard, dark as can be. Not a light on the I-10, not a light on I-510. I-510 is just pitch black. Pitch black. So that was a little uncool. and Almonaster, and it was like, oh, there's NASA. The shift's getting let out. Their cars and vehicles. I can see the mattress and box spring in the left lane, so I don't hit that doing 40 miles an hour in my car at night. No, that's probably about right. Trying to think of a bridge I was on. I was like, look at all the lights that are off out on this bridge. I mean, this is interstate, right? 1/3. The bridge over the Intracoastal Waterway that connects, like, English Turn, Belle Chase to like Algiers. That, I don't know how many lights. There are more lights out on that bridge than lights working on that bridge. That's just a fact. No, I mean, New Orleans street lights and yeah, that sounds all up to par. Hey, some good news. Recruiting numbers are way up with NOPD recruiting. Whatever changes, and I don't think it's lowering the standard. It's not lowering the standard. We'll find out from Michael Hecht. I'll find out from Rafael Goyeneche. But like quadruple the numbers. 90 recruits coming in, 20 last year. So almost 5 times the numbers, 4.5 times the numbers. 90 new recruits. That's good news. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Robert joins us via the cellular device. What up, Robert?
Yeah, I know you got to get up the air in a second, but this is a little lengthy. You said you brought.
That's okay. We have all day. We have all day.
Okay.
Take your time.
Well, you brought up the Plaza Tower, and that's owned by Joe Yeager, and there've been all these stories. I mean, people, stuff falling off of it, endangering people's lives, and he's not getting his act together. I also saw a story on Fox, on the local Fox News, I think it was Lee Zurich, about that hotel he owns on Canal right by the interstate. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, that dilapidated piece of garbage on Claiborne and Canal. Yep.
This guy, and that's all I know about him, but he probably has more. Now, there was a front page story in The Advocate a couple of months ago. It said, Death Meets Disney. And what it is, Joe Yeager and Barry Kern got, they're opening a museum about New Orleans death traditions, but they're like Disneyfying it, which they made it sound like this was really cool in the Picayune, but I thought that's really disgusting. They're gonna have like holograms and stuff like that. And
they're trying. I mean, it's something in Treme, I believe. It's about second lines and jazz funerals and how New Orleans handles death and things of that nature. Yeah, and I think it's Kern's involved. So yeah, it's gonna have. I don't want to say animation. It might, but it's going to have this guy designs floats, so it's going to be that type of thing. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I
don't know enough of the details to be critical or not, but I like investment in Treme.
Right, but what I'm saying is, we don't know yet. But when I heard the word Disney, I kind of cringed. But this is what I'm saying. I know someone who knows about the contract that Joe Yeager got for that, and it was some sweetheart deal, 3 stories, and it's from the Housing Authority, which is a city entity. So, here's a guy that the city is chasing all around to clean up his dangerous buildings, and they're giving him sweetheart deals on public property.
I mentioned Joe Yeager. I'm not making excuses. Joe Yeager, 3 years ago, pre-corona, 20-plus hotels in New Orleans. They're all doing well. They're well-run. They're good hotels. There's not a bank or someone in the financial world that wouldn't lend him money. He was as good as gold. And then this pandemic comes out of nowhere, and it crushes Joe Yeager. And this is the fallout, the stuff you're talking about right now, where he doesn't have the wherewithal to do anything. Hey, Robert, via the cellular device, thanks for the phone call. Blue Boy's saying stick around. 5 o'clock power hour next. Thank you, Blue Boy.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Stella Brennan Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh,
Leidenheimer. That's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. The theme song, coupled with the video montage, one of the most powerful opens in the history of television right there. And this was the 70s. I didn't know what to do with it as a kid. I saw the jet engines. I saw the Hawaiian lady shaking her hips. I was like, boy, it's all over the place. Zooming in on the balconies, guys spinning around. I'm like, who's this badass? Wow. Makes sense. That badass is Drew Brees, number 9. Thank you, Drew Brees from La Jolla, right outside of San Diego. Very similar to Avondale, La Jolla. Just like Avondale. I stayed at that hotel across from the Hilario Center with the pool, that Best Western. Hung out there. That was my vacation for a while, reading the paper by the pool. Even when it rained. So it's my vacation. I'm going to go out there and just deal with it. It's fantastic. And as I sat out there watching cars go by on the West Bank Expressway, I said to myself, this is like La Jolla. This is just like La Jolla. Anyway, it is a wide open Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us. East Bank, West Bank, Ninth Ward, North Shore, wherever, whenever. We'd love to hear from you. 5 o'clock power hour on a wide open Wednesday where you're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss, the phone lines are open. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Yes, we asked this question the other day. Geographically, to drive to the West Bank of New Orleans, which direction do you drive in? And that answer, of course, is east. To go from the East Bank of New Orleans to the West Bank of New Orleans, you drive due east. Mind-boggling. More mind-boggling geographically angled trivia. Is the West Bank the best bank? Is the West Bank the western part of the city? Hence the name, West Bank. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. If it is, give me a shout, and I got $50 for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. If it's not, which direction is the best bank? And I got $50 for you at the Woodhouse. 1 of 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, by the Mall of Baton Rouge. Hey, guys, holiday season is upon us. What am I going to get her? Is she going to like it? I know you're stressed out. What am I going to get her? A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Is she going to like it? She's going to love it. It's what she wants. You can't go wrong with this. You can't go wrong with this. Dude, my lady is a diesel mechanic. Okay, maybe she doesn't want to go to the Woodhouse. But pretty much everybody else, Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. WoodhouseSpas.com. I shouldn't make fun like that, Joe. A lady handled my rims and tires for my car the last couple of times. She handled like a champ. I tipped her $10 afterwards because she did such a good job. So I should not make fun of the lady friends. The lady friends. Anyway, guys, it's holiday season. Your lady friend, take care of her at the Woodhouse Day Spa. I recommend going to one of the 5 locations. Go into that lobby area to purchase your day of relaxation gift card and then say, hey, do you have a gift bag? I'd like to pick out some of the stuff that I'm looking at right around me. Candles and bath salts and moisturizers, lotions, slippers, robes, all kind of stuff. Things you heat up to put on her neck, things that you chill to put here or there, whatever. Stuff she loves. Get her a little, what do you call it, Joe? A ditty bag, a swag, like a Hollywood swag bag, like, not junk. Great stuff. The candles, the bath salts, the lotions, the moisturizers, all great product lines that she knows and she loves. Take care of her, guys. WoodhouseSpas.com. WoodhouseSpas.com. Geographically is the West Bank, the west part of the city. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Future I-49, when it's finished, where will it start? Where will it end? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Before the New Orleans Saints, Dave Dixon tried to lure not one, but 2 AFL teams from where they were located to New Orleans. One, a West Coast team, and the other maybe within definitely like a half a day's drive. I don't know what you'd call half a day. What's a half a day's drive, Joe? 5 hours? It's more than that. A full day drive. You can drive it in a day for sure. One was in 1962, $236,000. Dave Dixon had an agreement to move this AFL team to New Orleans, and then that city stepped up, got local ownership, kept the team. A year later, 1963, same deal. Owner wanted to move the team. Dave Dixon wasn't buying the team. The owner was going to just move it. Keep ownership, but move it. Name the team from 1962 from the AFL that almost moved to New Orleans. That was as close as it gets. 1963, name the team. Of course, neither AFL team came here. And then by 1966, we had the New Orleans Saints. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate in the program. Pick up 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. 766-9480. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets opened their doors for dinner about 13 minutes ago. They will roll till 9 p.m. tonight. Check out Pell's at the bar. Check out the Pell's while sitting at the bar and enjoying some of the best Sicilian and Italian. Great dining room. Maybe if you don't mind the cold, sit outside. They're doing it in New York. Outdoor dining, indoor dining, to-go orders. Watching your favorite sports teams like the Pelicans tonight, live from the bar at Fausto's. The best part, besides convenience and great staff and authentic, Italian and Sicilian, the best part is the food, just fantastic. Age-old recipes, fresh, fantastic. Chicken, veal, fish. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets tonight for dinner. They're open right now. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. It's Wide Open Wednesday. You're the show producer, but I got a slew of topics. Metairie Tower on Metairie Road. What do? Redo it, tear that thing down, tear it down. It's nearly 4 acres. Heart of old Metairie, right on Metairie Road. Sky's the limit. What do you think? 766-9480. Times-Picayune had an interesting article on the Harvey Tunnel, Bell Chase Tunnel. Harvey Tunnel, 56. Bell Chase Tunnel, 56. 1956. The Causeway, 1956. The Crescent City Connection, 1958. Boy, 56, 57, 58. Harvey Tunnel, Beltaze Tunnel, the Causeway, the Crescent City Connection. Talking about bridging the gap. Wow. Smalls Sliders, Drew Brees' little Crystal Burger type place built out of shipping containers. They're building one. They're opening one right in the corner of the Clearview Shopping Center, on the corner of Clearview and Vets by the Target Plaza Tower. Although it has historic designation and I don't think it can be touched, the mayor is looking for someone to demolish the Plaza Tower. NOPD, 90 new recruits this year. That's better than 20 from last year. Moving on up. A third of interstate lights do not work. I believe it. I believe it. I can conceive it and I can believe it. It's the city of New Orleans. Wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You're on the neutral ground. Corey Johnson with you till 6.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? He said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us to you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. The West Bank of New Orleans, geographically, is it west of the city? 766-9480. Future I-49. When it's finished, when it's complete, where will it start? Where will it end? Should I give a hint on that? It'd be like a Drew Brees Mahomes connection. 766-9480. I can't say Derek Carr. Jeez. Yeah. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. Hey, speaking of football, which AFL teams almost moved to New Orleans? One in 1962 from the West Coast and one in 1963. 1962, Dave Dixon had a deal for $236,000 to buy that team and move them to New Orleans. And then the city of Oakland got wind of it. Their mayor stepped up, got some local owners to buy it. The rest is history. That team still exists today. Same name, different city. A year later, 1963, another AFL team, this one closer, within a day's drive. Same name, different city. Although New Orleans got neither of those AFL teams, ended up getting the Saints 3 years later. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You have the answers to any of those questions. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations where you should be getting her a day of relaxation gift card, guys. The perfect gift this holiday season. Not surprised to report a third of all interstate lights in New Orleans are out. Add street lights and other bridges and the lights out there. My goodness, not good. How about lack of striping on streets? No matter how good or bad a shape they're in. You don't know if it's a 2-lane street, one way, 2-way, where the curb is, none of it. A third of all lights out. Streets not striped properly. Bridges and other roadways with lights out. Lack of street signs. I feel sorry for the poor bastard from out of town that doesn't have GPS that's looking for a street sign. I mean, you drive, what corner am I on? I mean, you'd get pissed.
Even with GPS.
No, even with it, I swear. No, not knowing how to enter the interstate. Am I getting on the interstate or not? You know, is this the corner of, Camp and Phillip? Where's the street signs? I love the homemade signs where someone just like makes a sign out of wood and hooks it to a pole somewhere. Nashville. I'm like, my God, it's unbelievable.
I appreciate those, but it also seems like a trap if you're not from here.
Yeah, like what? They're lying. Unbelievable. Yeah, the lack of of striping, the lack of street signs, and the lack of lights at night. I'll tell you what, though, for all the money and all the Fortune 500 companies, Houston is a lot like New Orleans when it comes to infrastructure, built on a swamp, a lot of roads that are too narrow, not enough lanes that are there that are very tight, not striped, potholes, bad streets. I mean, I'm on I-610 going to I-10 in Houston, and it's one lane. The I-610 to I-10 in Houston, I-610 north going to I-10 east is one lane. I mean, even Baton Rouge with that traffic mess coming from the West Bank to East Baton Rouge, it's two lanes of I-10. There's just no shoulder. It's a tight turn. It narrows into one lane. Eventually, as you enter I-10, it's a nightmare. But this is one lane in Houston. I mean, I was expecting I-610 in Houston, 4-lane exit, going into like 4 or 5 lanes of I-10 and maybe 8, 9, 10 lanes across. No, and Westheimer, one of their prime streets. I mean, certain parts of it are very nice. Certain parts of it are just beat up and rough, full of potholes and bumps and no stripes, and at night not lit up well. But boy, so much money in Houston. Scary. Such a huge economy. But boy, too many people. Too many people. 7+ million in Metro Houston. Harris County alone, that one county has more people than the state of Louisiana. It's just too many people in too tight of an area, too much traffic, too much congestion, yesteryear infrastructure. Houston's like the North Shore on super steroids. The North Shore has a lot of bad planning. You're listening to me right now on Causeway by I-12. That Pretty Acres golf course where the Home Depot is. When that golf course was abandoned, it should have been turned into like a park in the back and just some retail in the front, like some restaurants in the front. And then the behind the parking lot of those restaurants, like green space. And then like the Home Depot, that type of stuff. Pick an exit, left or right down I-12. Pick an exit. One exit down I-12 off a Causeway, east or west. Doesn't matter. That's where you put the Home Depot. What is it? Coop Road over there, all that. It's like, it's nothing at that exit. You know, you go 2 miles down to Causeway and I-12, it is a nightmare. So no, just bad planning. You folks, you know, with your private school stickers on the back of your big SUV. I got my kid at a school that costs $25,000 this semester. And I got 3 different schools. That's $75,000. Then you got that 30A sticker for the beach place you go down past Destin. Same thing, just lack of planning. And that's the St. Joe Company, this incredible company with a lot of growth, a lot of money, a lot of smart people. They went from like timber industry to developing property. And there's a lot of nice stuff in Destin and on 30A, and it is a traffic nightmare. And you never want to widen 30A. That road will never be, it's like Metairie Road. It's never going to be 2 lanes in each direction ever. There's never going to be turning lanes or none of that. So you can't expand that road, but you keep jamming people in there and you keep building more stuff off of 98, which in Destin is like Veterans Boulevard on the beach. Highway 98 in Destin is Veterans Boulevard on the beach with all the traffic, all the nightmare. And it's just growing farther down 98 towards Panama City. It's going to be one big Veterans Boulevard on the beach. No, just lack of planning and too much congestion and I guess greed ultimately. Just jam as many people in there as you can and sell. Hey, New Orleans, you're running air conditioning, you're running heat. River City's Total Maintenance will take care of you. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas Day, right now during Hanukkah. You need air conditioning or heat help? Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys are there right now. NOLAAC.com is all you need to know. NOLAAC.com. Hey, television audience, see you mañana. 4 p.m., Cox Channel 4, Spectrum 333. Tomorrow, be there. We continue seamlessly till 6 o'clock on the radio. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. We're on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. You can even put in CoreyJohnson.com and it'll go there. You can put in Corey Johnson and it'll connect. Because I don't even know how to spell my own name, damn it. But I can pronounce it. Corey. Kaare. CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, Corey at CoreyTalks.com. Kaare. The only thing I screwed up, Joe, it's legit. I could have done it. The second A, that umlaut. You know how many more chicks I would have hooked up in my lifetime with that umlaut over it? Look how his name's spelled. I'm on the fence, but look how his name's spelled. Okay. I'll go out with him. I wasn't really going to go, but look how his name's spelled. He's got an umlaut over the A's. Come on. It's just, he's foreign and mysterious.
Are you a model?
I'm 5'7". If Tom Cruise is a model, yes, I'm a model. I don't wear lifts like Tom Cruise. I hear Tom Cruise wears lifts. I'm not going to wear lifts. Not wearing a toupee, not wearing lifts. You're going to get the real deal. Take it or leave it. Live it or love it. Oh. Smalls sliders. Look, I don't think like Atomic Burger or Shake Shack or Five Guys are bad. I just don't think they're all that good. Nothing, just me. Where I went there, I was like, damn, I like this. I could eat this every few weeks. I could eat this once a month. This is a damn good burger. I mean, if someone was like, let's go there, a big crowd of people I'm with, and I would, hey, I'm fighting this. I just don't know if I'm going to Smalls Sliders. Like, am I going to eat a Smalls Sliders and be like, my God, that's one of the tastiest hamburgers I've ever had. I had a Louis burger in Baton Rouge a few weeks ago. Outstanding. I don't know what it is. The bun, the meat, the grilled onions on the grill, how they do it, the little bit of seasoning they use. I have no idea. Just a damn good burger. And then I had Portugal about 3 months ago. Another good burger, baked potato. I love a good hamburger. It's kind of hard to find. It's like finding a good shrimp or roast beef po' boy. Everybody's got them, and most places they're not very good. And you got to spend your hard-earned money on this. You want something that's good. Joe, you got a good burger joint?
I like Junior's on Harrison, actually. If you like an old school.
Junior's
like
on Harrison?
Simple burger done well.
Junior's on Harrison. Where's Junior's on Harrison?
It's not far from Lakeview Grocery and whatnot. Not just.
It's
right
on that
there.
side of the street?
Yep.
It's by the Mackenzies and Young's Dry Cleaning in that strip mall? It's in the fried chicken strip mall place?
Yeah, it's like it's
What's
in
the
that
fried chicken
standalone
place
building.
called? Redbird?
Redbird, yeah.
I went in there. It was okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I wasn't like, oh my God, I got to get back to the Redbird. I want places that I'm like, I got to get back. So damn good.
I go to
and
Cafe
consistent.
Navarre too, and they have a good burger, but it's also right by my house. I may be
No, I got you.
biased.
I like, what is that, Riccobono's place, that Cafe Navarre? Yeah, that's a good little breakfast joint. I used to go there. Down the street from Channel 12 and Delgadoo, in between City Park and Canal Boulevard on Navarre. And what's the other burger joint called? Junior's? And that is it's relatively new?
Yeah, I'd say maybe 3 years old, something like that.
Wow,
But, yeah.
that old? What's it in the old Lakeview Harbor?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the Redbird too, right? They're next to each other.
Yeah, they're right next to each other on Harrison.
All right.
Yeah.
So
If
Redbird.
you like a good simple burger.
Redbird, Juniors, Young's Dry Cleaning, Mackenzie's, all in that little strip mall. I got you, Joe. All right, I'll go check out Juniors. Is it a Castle Burger type thing? Like this one's a regular burger. Good. The Juniors isn't about the size of the burger. Now, it's interesting. It does a big old burger. I get a little, not a big fan of. Like Louis, I mentioned in Baton Rouge on LSU's campus. They have a 4-ounce burger. That was always the burger. Then, I don't know. I mean, Louis is from like the 40s. Like 25 years ago, they came up with like an 8-ounce burger. And it's, I'd rather 2 4-ounce than the 1 8-ounce, if that makes any sense. I don't know what it is. The meat isn't as good in the middle. It doesn't cook as good in the middle. I have no idea. But it's much better, the 2 4-ounces. It's kind of maybe like lobster. You want to eat 2 2-pound lobsters, not a 4-pound lobster. Corey, you're wrong, dude. I got a 10-pound lobster the other day out the tank. I'm a badass. It was great. Kept the claw hanging from the rearview mirror. Car smells like lobster. My wife left me because of it. Metairie Tower on Metairie Road. What a nightmare. Ida comes in, wrecks the place. They're basically like, we can't repair with you living here. Everyone out. A group starts repairing it slowly but surely. They apparently abandon the project or sell it. It's for sale again. Metairie Tower on Metairie Road. I say buy it and destroy it, demolish it. It sits on 4+ acres. You de-densify it. I mean, if you're a Metairie Road resident, you got to be all for that. Less population in that 4 acres. And then retail and things like that. I'd think like old Metairie Village, but with apartments and condos above it. Retail on the bottom, apartments and condos up top. Kind of a live, work, play. You could do office space, all of it. Be pretty damn cool. Metairie Road in between LeBar and Causeway. Joe, is that mind-blowing? All the new construction on Metairie Road in between LeBar and Causeway. I mean, it's north of $100 million in investment, I would say, in that like 8-block stretch. It's crazy. So much new stuff. Good. Bring it on. Metairie Tower, blow it up. Metairie Road's only so big. I remember the Bounty, whatever, used to just sit by itself. Had this huge green space around it. It was all by itself. You can't find the Bounty now. Surrounded by new buildings. Oh, there's the Bounty. You passed it. Seriously. No, that would be good. There's not a lot of stuff left. That school will probably become like some kind of, residential thing. And then you get Metairie Tower torn down, and sky's the limit on what you could put on that huge piece of property. It's beautiful. Metairie Tower is a dump. Plus, like I said, de-densify, less people, and you bring in retail and office space even. Somebody like a live, work, play kind of thing. Not too shabby. Hey, every day this program on radio, on television, on YouTube, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Lincoln, pre-owned service, collision, parts. And now, out in Elmwood, Harahan, Jefferson Highway, the legendary Ford truck dealership, Crescent City Ford, under the Lamarck umbrella. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, right on the corner, right on the price, I-10 and Williams. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Plaza Tower. I think the mayor is just trying to get Joe Yeager motivated. I think Joe Yeager is limited by finances, trying to sell the Plaza Tower. Says he has it under contract. Folks are doing their due diligence. Says he's got a few other folks that may give backup offers. Nothing done yet. The city has put in requests for folks, that would bid on tearing it down. I think the Plaza Tower has a historic designation, can't be torn down. We'll see. The shooting in the French Quarter, Cameron Jordan, a sneaker giveaway for the holidays in the quarter, no less. Just ridiculous. Good news with the NOPD, 90 new recruits coming in from last year, 90. The year before, 20. So moving on up to the east side. Good job, NOPD. Corey Johnson with you. Wide Open Wednesday. Young's Dry Cleaning's been with you since 1940. Looking to experience the best dry cleaner? Young'sDryCleaning.com. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations. Find out more, Young'sDryCleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us to you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Cotton Bowl winning coach Willie Fritz joining us on the program. Have you ever been part of a game that great?
A lot of things happen in the game. You just don't know the script. You got to adapt and improvise. You just got to keep playing hard the whole time, and our guys did an excellent job of that.
How big is yesterday for the overall future of the program?
You got to have the guys that really have a burning desire to get a quality education and also be a great football player. You got to have focus.
You've always have embraced New Orleans. You've been a great ambassador for the city, for Tulane University.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My wife and I just love it here in New Orleans. And just everybody, the city's just sensational. We just a dime for a person who came up to me after game. I had tickets in Tulane Stadium. I've heard that a ton of times. And then, that's good that we're able to make some people happy.
That's Willie Fritz joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Roll wave.
The spirit of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Oh, Joe, it's so funny. Men compared to women. I got a neighbor across the street, a couple, and the little center strip of grass, between the driveway, she turned it like desert looking, like Southwest, like little cactuses and rocks and pebbles. And it's just like, just creative as hell. And it just looks good. Little place where they'd walk through if there's no car there and they can still drive the car over and all that. I'm just like, brilliant, Then I got my boy down the street who builds this like outdoor shed and has like some outdoor like paneling left. So he builds like these plant boxes and puts plants in them and puts those like in front of his house. Like I told my neighbor across the street, I'm like, he's kind of having a drink and I'm just talking to him outside and I'm just like, see, dude, your wife, female, you get this. And I'm like, really nice. I go, us guys, especially get a few drinks in you. Hey, I've got extra paneling for the building. I'm going to make pot things to put planters in. Like it looks like a horse trial thing, Now I'm going to go home. My neighbor's going to yell at me. But anyway, it's just like a dude thinking of something, compared to a woman.
Yeah, my wife makes our backyard nicer. I just wait for trees to die so I can cut them down.
Yeah, and then your wife says, go get another one, dig the hole, and plant it again. No, and make sure you water it this time, honey.
Yeah, I'm always like, it'll rain, but never enough.
I'm divorced, Joe, and you're married. The best advice I can give anyone, married, divorced, whatever, who am I to give it? You don't have to take it. You can say, Cora, what do you know? You're divorced. Someone told me it after the fact. I thought it was brilliant. They're like, you're going to make thousands of decisions with your spouse, tens of thousands over a lifetime. Could be anything. Hey, do I get the trout or the flounder? It could be all kind of decisions. He was like, Corey, there's about 3 that you need to be involved in. He's like, 3 total. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, like maybe the mortgage with the house, something like that. Y'all want to just have like equal say kind of thing. It's not like you dominating it, but you're involved. And then it might be something else like that, business or car purchase. He's like, all the rest, the other 10,000. Yes, sure. Yes. Good idea. Yes.
He's a wise man.
That's what I thought.
She asked if I'd like to have a baby. That I had some input in. Otherwise, I just stay out of the way. Whatever you want, love.
Yeah. See, the baby thing, I would probably just think of the initial part and be like, yes, and then not the part after.
Money.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty easy when I'm got a girlfriend or in a serious relationship. What outfit would you want me to wear? You think that shirt's better? Okay, I wear that other shirt. Well, what do I care? I used to care. And then I was just like, it's sort of pointless to care.
My wife decides what clothes I keep or throw out. Throw that out is a very popular phrase in our house.
Good. It's like, what was that movie, that relationship movie, when Harry Met Sally, the wagon wheel table? The wife says, throw out the wagon wheel table, you throw it out. It's as simple as that. Anyway, no, things that are beyond your control, you definitely do not want to worry about. But a lot of things that are within your control, like I can tell her, no, I'm not wearing the red shirt, I'm wearing the blue one. Just don't worry about that. You don't want to control those things. You don't want to. It is a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Joe, I don't think I'm going to Smalls sliders. Just no offense. I want cheap meals. You know, my cheap meal is $18 at Raising Cane's. That's the cheapest meal of the week for me. Well, lunch special at Trey Inn, you know, is about $12 with tax. So that's a cheap meal for me. And that's, you know, I like good stuff. So I'm not going to settle and eat crap. So Trey Inn lunch special, which I love. I mean, if I lived on the North Shore, I'd eat Trey Inn 3 times a week. That's like $12. Raising Cane's is like 18. Martin's Wine Cellar as a roast beef po' boy, it's like $12, like 11 or $12 for a hot roast beef po' boy. I'll get like 2 of them. It's like $23. I'm like, that's a damn good deal. So no, I'd love, dude, small sliders is great. And for $8, you get 3 of the sliders, some fries, and a Coke and a shake, and you're set. I'd love a $8, $12, $15 legitimate meal, not settling for crap. Because, I mean, crap just leads to it's unhealthy. Maybe I get heartburn. Maybe I don't feel good later. You know, maybe I'm tired and bogged down after I eat it. I haven't had a McDonald's hamburger in 30 years, but I'll never forget, like, leaving LSU, a bar, and going to the McDonald's, which was one of the busiest in the chain on the LSU campus, and getting a Big Mac and telling my friend, I'm like, dude, it feels like someone just opened up my stomach and inserted the Big Mac in it. I just feel like a softball in my stomach. It's like it's all put back together again. And that was the last Big Mac I ate. I remember that. That was that night. That was like, I was at LSU. That was like 30 years ago.
I've never had a Big Mac.
You've never had a Joe, you're not missing anything. It's just a burger with Thousand Island dressing. It's nasty. Nasty. The last Big Mac was like 30 years ago. I haven't had a Wendy's burger since high school. So 40 years ago. I've never eaten in my life Rallies. Never. I've never had a Rallies burger. I've never had a Checkers burger. I've never been to Taco Bell, Joe. I've never been to Taco Bell ever in my life.
Now, Taco Bell is my mecca, I've got to say. So
never been to Taco Bell. Grade D meat doesn't really excite me too much. It's minced up for a reason. Where else, Joe? Burger King. I used to get the Whopper, and then I get like halfway through and just looking at that gray meat. I'd be like, "This, I got to eat the rest of this." You think I'm kidding?
Yeah, it's best not to look at your Whopper.
No, it isn't. And then I switched to the Whopper Junior because I'd finish that and I'd be like, I almost want another bite, but I don't. And I'd put French fries on the Whopper. I'd put the fries into the Whopper burger. Last Whopper, Joe, I'd say had to be like late 90s, 25 years ago. And that Corey, he's healthy and he's worrying about his diet. No, I'm worried about that. It's disgusting. Like you want me to projectile. I mean, literally, Corey's an adult man and he gagged. If you gave me like a loaded up Lucky Dog right from the vendor's hand with chili and relish and everything and made me take a bite and try to swallow it, I think I would go and would projectile vomit that and whatever else was in my stomach out. Not trying to make people sick. Wendy's chili, I think I would have the same reaction. I would literally, I'd gag. It'd be like, God, Corey is an adult man and his mind is controlling that. He can't just force it down. Anyway, I used to eat Popeyes a little, but it's just nasty and disappointing. I think it's greasy.
And they seem to hate you for being there.
Yeah, Popeyes hates you, you know. I eat Raising Cane's, and I don't get any batter. I get the fingers naked, Joe. One time I was like, is there any way to get less batter? Like, we can do them naked. I'm like, I'll try that. And then I perfected it. You need to get them like extra crispy. And then they're not greasy. They're just little fried chicken tenders it's funny. They're like half the size. Like, what happened to my tenders? Sometimes they give me some extra ones because they're like, it just doesn't look right. But I would say 50% of the size of a Raising Cane's tender is batter. And then I think, do I eat Chick-fil-A? Yeah, I'll get like the little chicken minis, like to have some protein in the morning if I'm doing something activity, hiking, walking, riding a bike or something, going somewhere. I have 30 minutes to burn before I get there, go and play golf. I'll get some chicken minis maybe. Overpriced, very salty. I don't get the big. I don't think it's fresh and battered in store. I just don't think Grandpa and those people at the Chick-fil-A are in the back battering chicken. I don't believe it. That Chick-fil-A says it's fresh and battered in store. I think that's nonsense.
I like the peanut oil, and I like that they don't hate me at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, no,
Openly,
it's very
but that's about it.
clean. It's got great condiments. It's very clean. It's pricey. But I don't see like, my God, this is incredible. Like, oh, this is fresh and it's not frozen and it's really just something special. It's greasy, very greasy, it's the sodium capital of the United States. Any Chick-fil-A should just have the Morton Salt Shaker as the building. Anyway, I admit I eat a little of that, not much. I don't get the Chick-fil-A sandwich or the biscuit or any of that. But most fast food is just very bad. My buddy's like a big Whataburger. I'm like, the full name of the place is Whataburger to Avoid. Whataburger to Avoid. Jack in the Box. We don't even have those locally, but Baton Rouge has all that stuff. Baton Rouge, Joe, I don't know if you knew this was a test market for all that stuff. That's why they've got like every fast food, fast casual. Baton Rouge is like one of 5, maybe 6 test markets for that type of stuff. So if you're looking for that, Baton Rouge is the place for you.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
As New Orleans as a roast beef po' boy.
Crab meat po' boy, duck po' boy.
It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Po' boy, roast beef po'.
Ah, Blue Boy. We're already done? That hour flew by. You're right. Tomorrow, Thursday, straight up 4 o'clock. Thank Joe. Thank everybody for watching and listening. Blue Boy, without you, I don't know what I'd do. Thanks, buddy.
You're on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi.